Vishwa, it's an online platform for social champions, for change makers, everyday change makers that we see around us, who have put decades of work, of their lifetime, their earnings, into making a difference, to serve others, and to make our world into a better place.
Namaskar. Good morning and welcome to Vishwa Talks. My name is Trishan. I thank you all for attending today's event. For those of you who have attended a Vishwa Talk before, a warm welcome back. And for those of you who are joining us for the first time, here's a little bit about us. Vishwa Talks is a space to expand the horizons of your mind. Every webinar we call experts from different domains to discuss and examine opinions, issues, perspectives, and problems. Each webinar is an interactive session where we walk away with more respect for each other and a deeper understanding of the topic at hand. If you miss a session, please visit our website or YouTube channel for a full library of past Whisper talks. on interesting topics. Today on Vishwa Talks, our speaker is Radhika Ayyar from Ra Foundation, and she will lead us through this session in just a few moments. With a wealth of experience and expertise in the realm of holistic well-being, Radhika ma'am has established herself as a renowned yogini and holistic life practitioner, touching the lives of many through her transformative teachings. She's the founder of Anahata Organic and founder and trustee of Ra Foundation. From entrepreneurship to modeling, mountaineering to yoga, she has excelled in various domains. After overcoming life-changing diseases, Radhika ma'am launched Ra Yoga Center in 2009, which has now transformed into a foundation dedicated to incorporating yoga into daily life. With her diverse experience, she has become a motivational speaker, counselor, and advocate of the Indic value system. Before we get started, I would like to inform our audience that our speaker will be taking the questions after our main talk. So please leave your questions in the chat or use the raise hand option, and we will allow you to ask your question in person. I request everyone to turn on your cameras while asking their questions. Now, without further ado, I invite our speaker to begin today's Vishwa Talk.
Namaskar and
Good
welcome.
morning.
Good morning
Welcome back.
to all of those people. And can you hear me clearly?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. All right. So it is really, really nice to come back to Vishwa Talks. And you have a very knowledgeable kind of an audience. They also like to know a lot of things they themselves. That was my experience the last time, that they were very inquisitive. They knew a lot of things that I was talking to them already, and they had very good opinions and suggestions. So it's nice to be in company of people who understand what we are talking about, from where we come, so it makes it more interesting. Thank you for the introduction, Trishant. And I just want to let everybody know that I'm nothing more than what you all are, just that I've dedicated some extra hours in my life trying to read and trying to accumulate knowledge, trying to, pen it down, write it down. So it's more easily available. It is more nicely categorized. So today's entire thought that we had on doing the mudras, I said yes to it immediately when, Vishwa sent me the options, simply because mudras are a very frou-frou. Everybody talks about it, everybody knows everything about it. And yet nobody practices it, just like meditation, So I thought that let me come and understand how people want to look at mudra. And that's the reason I took up this topic, so that when I talk about it at the end of the session, I will know what people expected or what is it that they're taking back from the session. So having said that, we will not waste any time. Trishant, you have the slide. Yeah, so you can start playing. We will first be doing the slides and practicing the mudras. Now, I want to let everybody know that this session is going to be very interactive. So while you don't need to communicate to me, I would appreciate it if your cameras are on, because when I do the mudra and I show you the mudra, I want to see if you're all doing it properly or not. So that's one more thing that I wanted to request. So if you can do that, it'd be nothing like it. Second is that any question you have about that particular mudra, please note it down and we'll talk about it at the end of the session. I have made it very simple. We are going to do about 11 overall mudras, and we are going to quickly talk about the benefit of that particular mudra and who can practice it and who cannot practice it and all of that, right? So without much ado, let's start. The whole topic is about embracing the power of mudras for well-being. So it is very important to understand that how a simple hand gesture can lead to an overall well-being of the body, mind, and soul. It's exactly like how when you do an electrification process, You take a wire and you ground it to the earth, call it earthing, that basically supports the entire electricity in your entire house, mansion, building, etc., etc. So that's the analogy. Everybody, I'm sure, can connect with that. So what your mudras do, the position of your mudras, it's like a silent language. You have to understand that. It's a silent language of self-expression. And that is why that, posing in a photography, when you're modeling, a certain pose will pick up very well because it seems to communicate a lot. And when you look at fashion channels and say, for example, a high-end fashion brand, and it'll say that, we want your hands in a certain way, we want you to pose it a certain way, we want you to look it certain way, because that entire silhouette, the whole body, a particular hand, suppose it's a ad for a bangle, then that particular pose for a hand is also a mudra, because that communicates very, very strongly on what the philosophy of the product is or of the brand is. Similarly, when you take a mudra in sadhana, right? You stand, you pose, you sit, you sleep, you pose, you take a deep breath, and you align. And when you align, that is the position where the energy will get conducted. The energy from all over your body will rush to that particular point, whether it is your index finger, all the 5 fingers, your palms, your wrist, whatever it is, and it will start bringing you results. So it is that profound. And it has been very, very underrated. People haven't talked about mudra a lot because obviously we are still coming into grips with so many aspects of Indic knowledge that suddenly seems to have filled our lives after the pandemic. So dheere, dheere, dheere karke, I know that there will be a time when we'll be talking about very, very delicate nuances of the Indic knowledge system. And I'm glad that we're able to talk about the mudra today. So can we go to the next slide? So next slide basically talks about what are mudras. It's right in front of you. What are mudras? So like I just told you, it's a seal. It's like a gesture that is used in yoga to contain the flow of energy. It's a very simple explanation that when you are flowing. Now, how will you understand this? Have you practiced a yogasana or a yoga abhyas for say 30-40 minutes continuously? So have you practiced say sun salutation or moon salutation, or have you practiced a vinyasa flow? When you are in the flow of that yogic flow like a river, and when you then stop at a particular point with a particular hand gesture, the entire energy of that flow will culminate in your body, inducing positivity, inducing a rush of oxygenated blood and a lot of prana. So that's what a mudra can do. But for you to actually understand this, I suggest you practice. You practice a certain. So, you can go for a walk, maybe 1 hour, 45 minutes, brisk walk, then sit on a bench, keep your back absolutely straight, close your eyes, open your shoulders, and just bring both your hands together like that. And then close your eyes. And what you feel at that point, when you breathe in and when you breathe out, is the magic of that mudra, which is a gesture, which is like a seal that kind of stamps it, saying, okay, today's workout done. You have got enough amount of electromagnetic energy. There's a lot of positive radiation around you. You're good to go. That's what mudras can do, right? Now there are 3 types of mudras. We have Hasta Mudra, which is primarily your hands. Kaya Mudra. Now there'll be this whole question, what if you didn't have hands? There are a lot of people who don't have hands. And for them, it's Kaya Mudra. They can use any part of their body. And then you have Chitta Mudra, which is all about using your mind, your consciousness. I'm sorry, I'll have to get some water. Give me 1 minute. Can I get thank you? Sorry about that. Okay. But for all our information, it's Hasta Mudras that are most commonly used. So when you talk about, like, if any of you travel to the Delhi airport, you will see this whole figurines of different types of mudra. They've got this giant sized mudras put up on the walls like murals, and they're fascinating to look at. Again, they've also been, like, for example, when we talk about it, it started with the origin of Tantra. Now, when we talk about mudras, they're not very just upar tak. There's a lot of depth in it. So there are Tantra sadhakas, which is the Vamangi way of, so there are two ways to worship, to do bhakti, and to do sadhana. One is the Dakshinachara, which we all understand as doing the regular, karma kand and doing our prayer and going to the temple. And then there is the Vamachara, which is the Tantra sadhana. And mudras basically originated by the Tantra sadhakas. And so they used to involve their entire body. They used to position their entire body like a closed electrical circuit that was capable of passing energy. So this is entire, I'm sorry, there's so much of disturbance from my side today. Apologies for that. So mudra science is a very ancient art. It connects certain energy flows in the mind-body system. These are vital points. You can write it down if you're taking notes. Then you can just write down these 2-3 lines, which will really help you understand mudras a lot. So an ancient art, an ancient science that connects certain energy flows in the mind-body system. And the literal meaning of mudra, what is exactly what it means? It means expression of internal feelings by way of different postures of fingers, palms, hand, feet, and body. Okay. Now, so for example, if I am angry and I don't want to talk to you, I'd say, I don't want to talk to you. Or you say, get lost. Or you say, keep quiet. These are all mudras. These are all mudras for expression. But like in the real world, where you are walking for work and you're walking for the sense of taking care of your body, the intention becomes different. Similarly, the hand gestures that you use to express a certain thing will become different based on the intention of it. So that's a very easy way to understand that we are actually, even right now when I'm talking, I'm using my hands. I'm using a lot of my Hasta Mudra to express or to, it's somehow the hand kind of brings out the words that I want to speak. When you look at musicians, you will always see their hands move, or they'll see one hand near the ear. All of these are mudras. All of these are expressions, silent expressions of the body. So while your mouth speaks, your body speaks through your hands, or it speaks through your eyes, right? So that's exactly what a mudra is. Now, along with their wide use in tantric and shamanic traditions, mudras also hold a mighty spot in our classical dance forms. You all know that in Bharatanatyam, in Kuchipudi, in Kathakali, in Mohiniyattam, since you've seen these dance performances, everything is about a perfect hand gesture, a perfect mudra, a perfect flow using the hands, right? Ancient texts also reiterate that the physical body is made out of 5 elements. So you can go to the next slide. I don't know what the next slide is. Yes, the same thing, right? So the human body is made of these 5 elements, and they connect the certain feelings and the energies that we have. So for example, we know that the thumb, I think is there in the next slide. You have the thumb, the index finger, the middle finger, the ring finger, and the little fingers. So do you know that from these hands, they're all connected to a certain element. And the pranic life force that runs through your entire body, is basically conductor of the hands, are the conductor of that element. Correct? So that is the illustration that is there in front of your screen, where you see the fire, which is your Agni, which is the thumb or the Angushta. You have air, Vayu, then which is your Tarjini, which is your heaven or ether. All of this ether is your Madhyama. Then you have earth, right, which is your Anamika, that is your ring finger. And then you have water, which is your Kanishtika, or that is your little finger, right? So all of this information is what we are just talking very casually, comes from thousands of years of research where rishis would sit, close their eyes and connect with the universe. And from the universe, they would get that symbol, that signal. So what I'm going to do now is, before we move to the next slide, I am going to make you feel energy, right? So what you have to do is just follow my voice. Make sure that, you don't open your eyes until I tell you. So since I can't see you, I will hope that you are doing what I'm asking you to do. So you keep your back straight and you close your eyes. Now, until you hear from me, don't open your eyes again. All right. Now, take a long, deep breath. So first of all, if there's too much disturbance around you because you're on mute and there might be a lot of noise around you, I suggest either you wear a noise cancelling device or you shut your door and make sure that there is no noise. That'll help a lot. Okay. All you do is take a long, deep breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Just take in that long, deep breath. Yes. Stay there. Stay there. And now retain that breath. Bahar सांस को निकालना नहीं है. Retain that breath. And now exhale in the count of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Once more. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold the breath. Retain it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One more time. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold the breath. And now exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now hold the breath outside the body. Don't breathe. Hold the breath outside the body. And now again inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold the breath. Now exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold the breath outside the body. Stay there, stay there. Take a long, deep breath. Just stay there. And now, rub both your hands together. Cover your face. Open your eyes in your hands. And bring your hands into a namaskar. Okay, now what you want to do is, think about your Ishtadev or Devi or your parents or your Guru, whoever. Okay, and now separate your hands. You can open your eyes and you're going to look at me and you're going to do this. Okay, just separate your hands just a bit. Very slowly. See, don't do this like that. Okay, now look between the space between your hands. Look between the space. Okay, imagine there is a ball here and look at it. And now rotate your hands gently like a cycle. आप cycle चलाते हो ना? Similarly, just 3 to 4 rounds clockwise, 3 to 4 rounds anti-clockwise. आपको ना, you'll feel some sensation between your hands. Okay, very slowly. Now make a cup like as though there's a ball here. And now just gently push your hands. Gently push it. Apne aap, the hands will go out. And then bring it back. Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. And then go back. Allow it to happen on its own. I'm sure most of you have felt this energy. Okay. And then palms. And then put it all over your body. Allow this energy to go all over your body. especially in your Vishuddhi chakra. This is the biggest cause of all your distress, is the Vishuddhi chakra. Okay, now that you understood, many might have done this before, many might not have done this before. This is how your hands are conductors of energy. Okay, so now that makes it very easy for us to go to the next few slides and understand what it is that helps us to get good thinking. In the end, in life, the one rule is, if your thoughts are good, everything is good. Right? The entire world is struggling with mental disruption, and that is why there is a physical disruption. And we have to understand it. Those who understand it will go and live a happy life. Those who don't understand it will create chaos. But the catch is that those who don't understand it will also affect your life. Right? So we have to make sure that everybody we know slowly switch on that positivity. How do you do that? By platforms like this. You have a platform like this that will communicate the goodness. It will communicate why it is important to remain connected, why it is important for us to understand these things. And that is how good word will also spread. Exactly how bad word spreads, good word can also spread. Right? So now we go to the next slide. So this is a very, very important slide. Now we talked about prana, right? We know that, there is the breath. Now, if I am Radhika and I die, then you don't say Radhika is here. They say her body is here. Correct. Now, similarly, why did Radhika was alive 20 minutes ago become a body later? Simply because the only defining factor that she is Radhika is because she has prana, right? If you don't have prana, you become a shava, right? You just become another object. And that is why prana is everything. Now, I have said this many times. If I tell you ki aap don't eat food, right? You can survive for 3 or 4 days. I don't think you'll have a problem. No water, no problem. Aram se 4-5 दिन you will stay without. There are cases where people have lived without water. In fact, recently there was an article where in Amazon forest, where this whole family, of 4 children, the mother and 2 co-pilots. So the mother and the co-pilots died in the helicopter crash. The children survived the crash and they were in the deep Amazon forest and they lived for 40 days. They ate the regular, fruits there. The grandmother must have given them some basic info for 40 days. And the youngest was an 11-month-old kid. So I'm just trying to tell you is that food and water, you can easily survive for 10 days, 15 days, 20 days. There are many of us, who are absolutely in fasting during festivals and things like that, right? Now, the basic thing is that there is no food, no water, no problem. But what if I told you that you cannot breathe? What if somebody put a plastic bag on your head? You can't survive for more than 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Now, so now think, as human beings, the one thing which is not going to be possible for you to have this life, you are not ready to work on that thing at all. We want great bodies. We are talking about nutrition, but you are not talking about the breath. That is the fundamental of all of this. Right? So when we talk about mudras and we talk about yoga, we talk about pranayama and dhyan, all of the Indic texts, they will ask you to align your mind first. Because once your mind is aligned, the entire perception of everything is changed. Suppose you are somebody who's very calm as a person. Any news, whether it is good or whether it is bad, you will treat it unanimously. Right? Sukheshu anudigna manaha, dukheshu vrigadasparaha, bhitaraga bhayakrodaha, sthitidihi muniruchyate. Krishna says that in the times of great happiness and at times of great distress, the one who remains equanimous, equanimity is the word. He is sthitidi. The one who is equanimous, is a muni, is a rishi, right? And that is the reason when we talk about mudras, it is very important to understand prana. Right now, whatever you felt is pranic energy. And that means that you are not alone. You might think in a room sitting here that you're saying all alone, but there is a lot of electromagnetic energy around you. There are different thoughts, different sounds. Every single sound vibrates in the universe. And you just need to attune yourself to a frequency so you can understand that. So when you do Mudra Vigyan, you attune yourself to that frequency. That's how it works. Okay. Now that's our basis. We've understood the underlying principle of Mudra Vigyan. So we can go to the 5 types of prana. Now, there are different zones in your body in which energy reverberates, right? Like, for example, if you need to go to, say, the railway station, there are different routes that will take you to that railway station. There might be a fast route, there might be a slow route. Now, having said that, there might be different vehicles you can use to go to the station. Somebody who has a very high-end fast car might go very fast. Somebody who's going by a local bus will go very slow. Do you understand? So the pranic energy in your body does exactly that. Which prana are your body using depends on how good your thought is and how calm your mind is. So it is so complicated. But at the same time, it's very simple. And how is it simple? That instead of getting into the details of all of this, just practice pranayam, just practice mudra. It'll automatically, by default, take you to upgrade you to a different level. Correct? So apana is for everything that you require to excrete. Think of all the things in your body that you need to throw out. Right? From your excretion, you're going to your toilet, your urine, sexual release, sweat, tears, fart. Think of all of those things that need to get out of your body. The apana vayu is responsible for that. Right? So there are many mudras that will tell you that if you do this mudra, your digestion will be very good. If you do this mudra, your menstruation cycle will be very good. That is because it works with the apana vayu system. Okay. Then you have the samana. Anything that you need to assimilate. So anything that you need to digest to build your metabolism. The last Vishwa talks, I talked a lot in length about metabolism and immunity and what we need to go and what happens and all of that. So if your samana vayu is very good, it will help your body to digest whatever that you intake in your body, and will keep your digestive system bang on, A1, right? Then you have prana. Prana is basically that comes from your nose to your chest. That means all the oxygen that you take in, it, uses that to supply enough blood to the heart. So that is the prana. That is your main vayu, that's why we say pranic vayu and everything, because everything from outside turns into oxygen when it comes inside. And that is the function of the pranic system. Then we have the vyana. You've taken in the prana, but it has to circulate everywhere, no? It has to go to the brain. You know that certain things have to go to the chest, to the arteries, to the veins, to the hands, everything, knees. So vyana vayu does that. Vyana vayu makes sure, okay, this is 100% I've received. This goes here, this goes here. So it distributes and it circulates, right? And the last is udana vayu, what we are doing right now. You're listening to me, I'm talking to you, you're following my instructions. At the same time, you're thinking. You might be thinking about 3 or 4 other things, or you might be completely absorbed in it. All of this is udana vayu. So this is very important, that the mudra system works on the 5 elements, the Pancha Mahabhutas, and it works on the 5 types of prana. Right? So this is very clear. If there is any doubt even over here, write it down and we'll discuss it next. Can you go to the next slide? So very simple. We are doing 9 mudras. Very easy for you to remember. We'll not complicate it too much. And all of these mudras are for your well-being. So what I've taken Now, I want to, before I go into this also, I want to tell you that there are mudras, like I told you, the Kaya Mudra, or there is the Manasa Mudra. There are mudras that you can use your entire body to do, and that is what sadhakas do. You know, sometimes if you visited some temple, especially a Devi temple or a Tantric Bhairava temple, for all those people who are Hindus. For people who are not Hindus, there are also shamanic traditions. In Islam, there are a lot of such sadhana that you do with, standing between a stone or on fire, or, a lot of those extreme kind of tapasyas you must have seen. Even Christians have it, Muslims have it, a lot of shamanic traditions have it, Africans have it. So everywhere it is there. But we are right now talking about the Indic mudra system, right? Where it comes from our Tantra sadhakas, it comes from Buddhism. So this is a mixture of a lot of things, correct? So let's go to the next slide. We start with the first one. And all of you must practice it. See, you're seeing it on the screen. I'm going to show it to you. While you are writing your notes, practice this. We will do a 10 to 15 second, like a count on each mudra for you to feel the effect of that mudra as well. So the first is Abhaya Mudra. So everybody can bring your hands down. Right. Take your right hand. Now, where have you seen this Abhaya Mudra? You've seen it on gods. You go to any temple, every god will be doing this, like this, facing outside. Not like this, like this. Okay. Now what you do is, in this mudra, take your right hand. The left hand can just be like this in Jnana Mudra. Everybody knows Jnana Mudra. Like that. Keep it on your lap and keep this hand here. Fantastic. Okay. Now when you keep your hands like this, your Vata, Pitta and Kapha doshas start to align. Okay. And you know what Abhaya Mudra is very good for? It is fantastic to bring confidence. It removes all kind of mental weakness. It's called as the Mudra of fearlessness. So what we will do is close our eyes. In Abhaya Mudra, think about the thing that bothers us the most. What is it that we get scared of? Everybody gets scared of something. What is it that you get scared of? Now, when you've kept your hand like this, take your attention in the middle of your hand over here, in this point. Take your attention. When you think, you can bring your attention onto this point. And just stay there. Keep your back straight. Beautiful. Just stay there. And now breathe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Again, breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now repeat in your own mind. I am strong. I am confident. I do no harm, so I get no harm. I am free from any bondage. I belong to this earth. My mind is full of positivity. Now, once you say this, again, rub both your hands together. You'll feel a lot of warmth in the hand in which you did Abhaya Mudra. You'll feel a sensation, warm sensation over here. Any time you get scared, your children are going to an exam and they are nervous, sit them down, tell them to practice the Abhaya Mudra. Tell them and you will see a huge difference. Now, how you convince others, I do not know, but you can practice it. Because when you become fearless, when you become confident, you're able to deal with other things as well. So whenever you practice an Abhaya Mudra, there are 9 mudras. You can choose any one, but I suggest you choose one and practice it for 6 days and see the difference. Go to the next one. And I think Vishwa will be sharing these slides with you. And so you can use this as a reference. Fantastic. Next is the Surya Mudra. It's also called as the Agni Mudra. Now, before we go to this Surya Mudra, it's there on your slide. It's very simple. You take your left hand and you place your right hand in the middle like this. Put the left thumb over the right and close this. That's it. That's it. Very simple. I've also chosen very simple mudras so that you all can practice it. Okay. Left hand, place the right hand on top of the left hand, place the thumb on the right palm and place the right thumb over the left thumb. That's it. Very good. All of those who are doing it. Okay. So anybody who has thyroid, I have thyroid. So what I do is when I do the Surya Mudra, I keep my hands like this and I close my eyes and then, think about Surya Bhagwan and then place my hands over here. Because this is my point for thyroid. But if you don't want to point it to anything, you can just keep it like this, rested in your hands. And now we're going to practice the Surya Mudra and then I will talk, right? So first keep your hands here. You will, at the end of this session, I can promise you, if you're with me 100%, you will feel a lot of vibrations in your body. I mean, actually, it's a lot more if you're in front of me, but through the screen also, I think you will be able to feel at least 15-20% of what you feel when I'm teaching it to you in real. Okay. So just close your eyes. Think about sun god. Think about Surya Bhagwan. Okay. Listen to the mantra that I'm saying. Om Surya Narayanam Devam Satchidananda Sadgurum Ajnana Tamanashaya Vande Sarvatmakam Ravim. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Just stay there in silence. Take a long, deep breath. Inhale and gently exhale. One more time. Inhale and gently exhale. And then again, feel the sensation in your hands. And then rub your palms gently. Rub your palms gently. And place your palms over your neck. Like that. Just place it over the neck. Shoulder and your neck. If you have digestion problem, place it on your stomach. Okay. And 6 days. That's all I'm saying. Take any mudra, practice it for 6 days, and you will be surprised. All right. Now, before we go to the next slide, we've already finished 2 mudras. You have to also understand that we are also aligned through our chakras, correct? So there are 104 chakras that are all over our body. One chakra is like, it is levitating. It's above our body. And the minute we kind of align our chakras, it kind of settles in at your Brahmarandra. This is called your Brahmarandra. And then your entire body becomes like a Buddha. You like a Ramana Maharishi. You start to glow. Whatever you say becomes the truth, and all of that is always there. But there are primarily 6 or 7 chakras that are very popular that, everybody can easily connect with. The other are a little complicated, but these are like the main circuits that you can see. So when we do mudras, and if we do the Kundalini awakening with the mudras, the result is 40% faster. That is a power of mudra. So for example, how do I explain this to you? Like a router in your house, correct? Put another modem, which will kind of facilitate the speediness of that particular signal. So I think that will be a good analogy to understand. So when you are practicing, but then when you start practicing Kundalini with the sound, ram, vam, lam, and then you do the mudra with it, the result is fast. It's like Vande Bharat Express or Shatabdi Express. That's what it is. So that is why why I told you that later on, as we go into our slide, we will be also talking about, the Kundalini, where there are 1 or 2 mudras that we will do about the Kundalini. Can we go to the next slide, please? after Surya Mudra. Oh, Surya Mudra. So now also I want to tell you one more thing about Surya Mudra is very good for weight loss. So anybody who is practicing, for example, you're practicing walking or jogging or whatever, sit for 5 minutes after your thing and do the Surya Mudra, and it'll really help you burn fat, a lot. Okay. Next is the Rudra or the Buddhi Mudra. The way you say it is very simple. Your Anamika finger to the thumb. That's it. Like that. Anamika finger to the thumb. Very good. You can practice now. We'll come to the technicalities of later. You can practice this mudra with both your hands. So you keep this hand like this and then place it on your lap. Okay, now observe now that we're not just going to talk. You're going to observe what I'm telling you, whether it makes sense to you, whether you're experiencing it or not, right? Otherwise, we're all wasting our time otherwise by in a lecture. So bring both your hands here, place it on your lap, close your eyes. When you do the Buddhi Mudra, find out ki kya problem hai. Do you forget a lot? Do you get confused a lot? Do you feel that, people are not able to understand you or you're not able to communicate properly? Do the Rudra Mudra. Think about the power that will bring in you. So take a long, deep breath. जोर से सांस लो. And now stop the सांस. Stop it. That's it. Stay there. Back straight, shoulder open. Stay there. Try to hold the breath for at least 15-20 seconds. And now when you exhale, whenever you're comfortable, you exhale, bring your attention to the point of the Anamika, the middle, the ring finger and the thumb. Beautiful. Just stay there. You do it one more time. Inhale, take a long deep breath. Full deep breath. Hold it. Hold the breath. And stay there. Remember that when you want to understand your inner self is when you practice this mudra. So just allow the mudra to activate a part of your Agna chakra, the hypothalamus. And now slowly exhale. Very nice. Again, rub both your hands together and then cover your face. Beautiful. And open your eyes. Buddhi Mudra. Very nice. I can feel the energy. I'm assuming that you all can also. Okay. Now remember that when you want to get into deep meditation is also a great time to practice Rudra Mudra. It's a great time, right? So anytime you feel you're not able to meditate or, even before you go to sleep, sit on your bed for like 2-3 minutes and then just allow this to happen. Suddenly your heart will start to beat very fast and you will see that, there is this feeling of anxiety that kind of goes out and then slowly calmness brings in, right? So that's Rudra. So magic of our rishis, magic of our people who have dedicated lifetime in understanding all of this knowledge. And we have been ruled by so many people. We have been a slave to so many other rulers who have come from outside. And only now, after 70-75 years of having independence, we have stabilized, like the mass loss theory. When your food, your accommodation, what you're going to wear, all of this is sorted out, only then the civilization will move upwards. So we are in that phase right now. India, Bharat by itself, now we are going to come back because the truth cannot be submerged, na? As the population gets educated, you are more comfortable, the flow of money is always there, then we talk about all of these things. We cannot talk about, Vishwa Talks can't do a lecture on this if people are dying in poverty. So you have to be comfortable in life, and then you can move upwards. And if you're not moving upwards, you're not living the correct life. Right? So you need to, your entire, when I say move upwards, it means that you start to look up. And that is how the universe was discovered. You know, human beings were walking on 4 limbs. Slowly, 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 they started to lift up and slowly started to look up. And then they realized there is something else. We need to find that out. And that is happening with all of us, from 1st standard to 8th standard to 12th standard. So we are moving upwards. You were earning 2,000 rupees. Now I'm earning 10,000, but I want to earn 1 lakh rupees. We are moving upwards. So while the physicality of this universe is moving upwards, the winner is that, or those people who are moving upwards from the inside. You have to understand this. So your inner worth has to move upwards. You have to be urdhva gatim. You need to go upwards. Right. Let's go to the next slide. After the Rudra Mudra is the Mukula Mudra, Prithvi Mudra. This is for people who want to look fantastic. I don't want to age. I want to apply creams that make me look very young. I want to wear good clothes, walk out. This actually does it for you. This actually will do it. It's called the Mukula Mudra. Mukula by meaning itself means, if you say Mukula, it just sounds very nice, right? But it's also the grounding mudra, because we come from the earth and we will go back to this earth. And that is why it's also called Prithvi Mudra. Very easy to do. This, that's it. That's it, that's it. So you just take this, keep both your hands on your lap, open your chest, keep your back straight. Bas isko karo every morning, 5 minutes. That's all. And just do this sound of Om. So you hum. Take a long deep breath. Incidentally, there's a Shankhanad also happening somewhere near my building. This is a good sign. So again, take a long deep breath. One more time, last time. Just stay there and slowly rub your hands together. And then cover your face. Open your eyes in your palms and relax. Beautiful. Mukula Mudra. What it does. So first, when you start any mudra, all the mudras that I've told you, 3 things you have to remember. Number 1, you have to keep your back straight. That's the number 1 rule. So now suppose you don't want to keep your, you are not able to keep your back straight. Sit using support. Sit on the bed or sit on the floor. I'd always suggest that sit on the floor. I always suggest that. But if you're not comfortable, you can sit on a chair and, use the backrest of the chair, right? And now, second rule is close your eyes. That's your second rule. Because yatha drishti tatha dhyanam. Wherever you will put your eyesight, that's where your attention will go into. So make sure that your eyes are closed. And the third thing, always have an intention. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing? Why are you sitting this 5 minutes just because you heard it in Vishwa Talk, or you're looking at Instagram and there are a lot of reels that are talking about it? No, you're doing it because. So that is how, when you start invoking it, it will come to you. So suppose you're doing Prithvi Mukula Mudra, then your intention is, may I feel healthy, may I feel beautiful, May my hair, my body, my skin shine like the sun. May there be positivity all around me, and then do the Mukula Mudra. So you will invoke it. Like when you're flipping through a television, if you want to watch Star Plus, you can't be on Star Sports, no? You have to go to Star Plus. How do you do that? By pressing that particular channel number. Same thing. If you want to do Rudra Mudra, invoke the Buddhi. Say, you know what? I want to be mentally strong. I want to be physically strong. All of that. So please clearly state your intention. Two things happen with that. When you state your intention, you have a lot of clarity in your own self on why you're doing what you're doing. And number two is that you're invoking that and reassuring yourself. So it's like an affirmation. You're telling it to yourself also. Correct? So, kuch bhi karo, intention. Why have you joined this Vishwa Talks? What was the reason? That intention. Intention is the bottom line of everything. You know, according to many people, you might do something very, very bad. But if your intention is good, eventually people will know that you meant well. Correct? Move on to the fifth one. Prithvi Mudra, we finished. Pranabudra. This is what you need in today's times, where there are diseases everywhere. Every 200 meters, there's a hospital. Right? That means we are not progressing. We are becoming slaves. That's what is happening. Every 200 meters, 250 meters, there should be a yoga center. There should be a community center. There should be schools. There should be libraries. There should be art centers. There should be music classes. But you only see big, big hospitals. What does that show you? What does that show you? That we really are not progressing. We think we are earning enough money and we are more comfortable, so we are progressing. No, we are destroying ourselves. We are destroying nature. We are destroying vegetation, everything. Right? So we need to take a U-turn. It's okay. It's okay. We all do it. We've all done mistakes. But human beings need to now take a U-turn and come back. They need to come back and say, you know what, now we have to plant more trees. Now we have to make sure that we use minimum plastic. Now we have to make sure all of that. We all have to have this conscience inside of us that tells us whether we are spending the money at the right thing or at the wrong thing. Correct? So there needs to be a universe, a world, a earth that lives, does all its modern things in the middle of a jungle. We need to grow more trees. There should be more and more trees all around us. There should be more and more birds and animals all around. We need to give them their space. We have created buildings, but we have displaced them. Correct? So we have to be conscious about that. And that is Prana Mudra. That brings the consciousness inside of you. It brings vitality. What is vitality? Pranic energy. The energy that is required for you to live a healthy life, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And that is Prana Mudra. Prana Mudra is very simple. Your palms over here. You take this thumb, put it in, and take the first two fingers. There. That's it. Everybody can practice these mudras. Everybody. Now, one pro tip. You can practice the mudras in two different ways. One, because whatever you practice with your right hand will help the left part of your body. And whatever you practice with the left hand will help the right part of the body. But there is a catch in this, that your left hand can always remain in Gyan Mudra. This is the king of all mudras, easiest, everybody connects with it the most. And all the other mudras from your right hand can be these. It can be Rudra Mudra, Prana Mudra, Vayu Mudra, whatever that you want to do. So you can keep your hands always in Gyan Mudra, no problem at all. And with the right hand, you can practice. But if you're comfortable, you can practice with both the hands. Yes, people? Fantastic. All right. So we go to this. Prana Mudra will increase immunity and it will bring vitality. We will actually experience Prana Mudra. Okay. So you take this mudra, keep the other hand in Jnana Mudra, place the left hand on your lap, and place the right hand over here, right where your chest is, here. Your arms can be like this, and place it here. Now, do you remember seeing a lot of Devis? You can even see Buddha in this mudra. You'll see Ardhanarishwara in this mudra. Okay? Close your eyes. Visualize your guru in this mudra. Whoever is your guru, visualize them. If you don't have a particular guru, Shiva is the guru for everybody. So you can always visualize Shiva. And then slowly bring your energy or attention to your throat with the Vishuddhi chakra. Take a breath, lock it in the throat. So don't allow the breath to go down to your chest and to your stomach. Lock it. And release it with your mouth. Again, inhale. Lock it at your throat. Exhale with your mouth. One more time. Inhale. Lock it at your throat. Exhale. Now one more time. Inhale. Allow it to go till your stomach. Hold the breath. And release. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Wonderful. And now again, bring both your hands in Namaskar. Bow down to your Guru. Rub your hands. Cover your face. Open your eyes. Pranabudra. You will see a tingling sensation over here. You will feel that your arms are feeling very, very heavy because you're not able to hold it like this. So I suggest keep a pillow on your lap and place your hands on the pillow so that there is no pressure on your cervical, right? Pranabudra is actually the toughest to accomplish. You'll be very surprised to know. Pranabudra takes the most amount of time. It will not give you immediate result. But if you continuously practice Pranamudra, so if you don't understand the breathing technique and you don't remember it, all you do is chant Om. Take any mudra and chant Om 11 times. Fair. It'll help you a lot. Okay. So Pranamudra, like I said, that if it can be done, the best time to do is, before you go to sleep. You can also kind of, channel the flow of energy. So, when you see these Kung Fu fighters, your Kalaripattu fighters and all of these people, you will see that, they move their hands in a certain way. So actually we can try that right now. So bring both your hands over here and just move it randomly. So imagine, let's do the infinity. You all know the infinity sign. Just do the infinity with both hands. Just do the infinity. Move, or you do it together like a water wave. Now feel the tingling sensations in your fingers. Right? You will feel it. Wherever you are, you will feel it. If you're not distracted, you will. But if there's like a lot of people around you, sound around you, people talking to you, you might not. But if you are focusing on this, you will feel the sensation in your hands. And all of this is vital energy that the universe is giving it to you, free of cost. Okay, so tap into it. Right? What happens with the prana mudra is that all the 5 pancha mahabhutas it balances. And the entire fundamental message of Ayurveda, of our shastras, of our texts is that if you're not in alignment with the universe, yatha brahmande, tatha pinde, yatha pinde, tatha brahmande. So we are all part of the same thing, right? So the prana mudra is actually like one of those things that you use to align, like in position, and then you can practice all the other mudras. So if you're on a typical day, for example, how do you do this? So you sit after you finished all your basic routine, you sit for just 20 minutes. First, you start with closing your eyes, keeping your body straight, and just chanting Om. So we do Omkar 3 times, 5 times, 7 times, 9 times, in any odd number. If you don't want to chant Om, no problem. You can just sit in silence. Okay, automatically you'll start aligning. Just do this for 3 minutes. How do you know 3 minutes? Take your mobile, put your timer on, right? Set it at 3 minutes. When it does tung, that means your 3 minutes is over. Okay. Every time you want to open your eyes, you rub your hands, cover your face, open your eyes, and then set the timer again for the next thing. Okay. Never ever open your eyes directly when you're doing a mudra meditation or when you're doing just general pranayama. Why? I'll tell you why. When you are closing your eyes, you're attracting a lot of subconscious, conscious energy all around you. You are tapping into the overall Brahmanic consciousness, which is always, it's all pervasive, it's all around us. And you have, kind of accumulated that energy by giving 3 minutes of your time. Now, the minute you open your eyes just like that, it poof, vanishes. It is of no use to you. So you kind of store it. How do you store it? So your timer went in at 3 minutes, tongue, no problem, rub your hands. And then slowly cover your eyes. Now, when you open your eyes into your palm, that energy gets absorbed inside your body. And that is why people, if you look at people who have a lot of tejas, they have a lot of aura around them, is because they meditate. And they meditate and they absorb that meditation, they absorb that energy. And that is why you see their foreheads shining all the time. So this is a pro tip. Do this all the time. Don't open your eyes suddenly. Always rub your hands and then open your eyes. So first we've done 3 minutes of Omkar, or we've done just simple Dhyan. Start with Pranabudra. Begin with the Pranabudra. Do it again for 3 minutes. So you can either keep your hands over here, like we said, or you can keep it on your lap. No problem. You can keep it on a pillow. Important thing in mudra is you all have to be comfortable. If your shoulder is paining, neck is paining, hands are paining, nothing. There is no use for you to spend this time. So make yourself comfortable. Sit with a good backrest. Keep a pillow. Put your hands comfortably and then do the mudra. After you do 3 minutes of prana mudra, you can go to Mukula Mudra, the Prithvi Mudra, correct, which we just practice. Correct? Then you can go to the Surya Mudra. We did the Surya Mudra, the Agni Mudra. You can do that. And then you can do any other. We are going to come to 1 or 2. We can do Garuda Mudra also in the end. We can also do the Prithvi Mudra, whatever you like. But you can, for 12 minutes, practice 4 mudras every day. You begin with simple silence. You end with simple silence. But this is like a prescription. You can do this. And it's very, very, very effective, guys. Okay. And you will do it for just 6 days. I promise you, you will take your entire understanding to a different level. Okay? So ये सारे के सारे चीजें, these are all available. They are available. Our ancestors had it. It's there on the internet. There are a lot of teachers who are teaching it. But the thing is, सुनने में बहुत अच्छा लगता है, पर करना कोई नहीं चाहता. ठीक है? There was this, I always say this analogy of ye traveler tha, and this traveler would travel from all over the world, and he would talk about the best apples that he had ever tasted, and then he would say, oh, yahan ke apple ye hain, wahan ke apple ye hain, main is gaon mein gaya, wahan pe apple. And there are a lot of people who will kind of accumulate around him ki aaj kaun se apple ki aap story kya hogi, and everybody had a lot of information on the apple. And then this little kid walks in and says that, पर हमने कभी apple को खाया तो नहीं है, कैसा पता चलेगा? And everybody just shuts up. तो अगर आपको एप्पल के बारे में नॉलेज है तो एप्पल खाइए तो सही. ठीक है? So all of these efforts that we are putting in together, it will fructify when you practice it. Right? Nairantram dirghakalam abhyasam. That's what the Shastra says. Nairantam, every day. Dirghakalam, till a very long time. Abhyasam, practice. Please ye kariyega. You've all spent so much of time and energy being a part of this. I suggest you do this. All right. Next, after Pranamudra, Garuda Mudra. Garuda Mudra will balance all the vayus. Because it will balance all the vayus, automatically the circulation system of the body will do fantastically well. Garuda Mudra is basically an invigorating mudra. It gives you, so in the Manipura chakras, you have the flight or fight tricks. Whenever that you put into a situation, right? Your gut will either fight or it'll fly. It'll leave the situation. When you practice Garuda Mudra, you become stronger, braver, more confident. Very easy. You can see the mudra over here. You just have to bring this hand and this hand together. Oh my God. What is happening? Okay, bring both your. So bring your hands like that and this interlock your there. So you can fly. Correct? There. So this is a Garuda Mudra. So this is Garuda itself is a bird, a mighty bird like an eagle, And what are the qualities of an eagle? We all know. They always say fly with the eagles. It's in fact one of my favorite quotes. When you say fly with the eagles, it means that you think about, soar high in your thoughts. So that's what Garuda Mudra does. So just place it over here near your chest like that. And then close your eyes. And in this mudra, you can practice Kapal Bhati Shatkarm Kriya. If anybody knows it, if you don't know it, please understand and do it. So you basically just do deliberate exhalation in the Garuda Mudra. Okay? And when you do the Kapal Bhati, what moves? Only your stomach. Nothing else moves. When you do Kapal Bhati. So please learn it. If you do not know it, don't practice it. Just practice in silence the same humming sound. Continuously. 3 minutes. You will see a huge difference. Huge difference. Right? Wonderful. Now we can go to the next slide. The Vayu Mudra. Very simple again. Anybody for the Vayu Mudra is anybody jisko joint pain hai, muscular pain hai. Bring both your hands together and make see, you bring your hands together and do this there. So you create like a hollow thing around. So it's not namaste, it's just this. Yes. Bring all these fingers need to be in touch with each other. This is also a Hakini Mudra. We'll go about details of Mudra some other time, but this is called Vayu Mudra. It controls pain. Correct? That's it. What you do for Vayu Mudra. So you can choose any 4 or any 5 and do each Mudra 5 times. That's all. Right? Go to the next Mudra. Very important Mudra for women, especially. Even men can practice it, but for women, not only, we've forgotten to add that it cures constipation and regulates menstruation. Dono hi kaam karta. Okay? Shakti Mudra, everybody knows how to do it. You create like a star and bring all the other fingers like that together and point it down. Yoni is down. Very simple. See, your hands here, all the 3 fingers on both hands, join it. And join these 2. That's it. There. Join these 2. And then invert your hand downwards. Place it on your nabhi, on your stomach. Okay? And ye mudra every day aap karo. I will suggest to do the Shakti Mudra. It not only will cure menstruation issues, reproductive cycle issues, constipation and acidity issues, but it also increases the strength in the Swadhisthana and the Mooladhara chakra. Right? It kind of regulates your sexual energy. It grounds you to the earth. You don't get all these weird thoughts, tamasic thoughts, of hurting, of jealousy, of ego. All of those thoughts also reduce when you practice Shakti Mudra or Yoni Mudra, right? 3 fingers, दोनों हाथों के तीनों fingers को इस तरह से, और फिर ये वाला जो आपकी तर्जनी है और अंगुष्ठ है, बस ये हो गया, और उसको नीचे करना है, नीचे पेट। तो आपका जो इंडेक्स, ये जो तर्जनी है वो नीचे की तरफ जाएगा, दैट्स इट, इस तरह से डाउन। And it's a very, very good, yes, very good. For those I can see, they are doing it quite well. Very good. Shakti Mudra का नाम ही है Shakti Mudra. Right? Can we go to the next slide? Kaleshwar Mudra. Same thing है, but Kaleshwar Mudra में there are, ये जो है, ये वाला जो है, it's like this. There. उसमें भी हाथ नीचे जाता है, ठीक है? तो हमने शक्ति मुद्रा में क्या कहा था? तीनों हाथ हमारे यूं थे और ये था। कालेश्वर में योर रिंग फिंगर और नीचे। कालेश्वर मुद्रा एजिटेशन को कम करता है। इफ यू हैव एनी काइंड ऑफ एडिक्शन, दारू का हो गया, सिगरेट का हो गया, addiction of late nights, you're not able to sleep early in the morning, you're addicted to all the wrong friends, wrong company, practice Kaleshwar Mudra. If you have kids, or if you have people who are going through similar addiction issues, this works unbelievably well. 2 middle fingers, ring finger and the middle finger joining like this. Chota finger and the index finger like this, and join the thumb like this. So 3, and then you point it down. Okay. Goes down. Okay. If any of these mudras are complicated for you, they have practicing just the Prana Mudra, Buddhi Mudra, they will all give you these effects, because we are not yogis. We are still living in the Grahastha field. So then even those doing a simple gesture for 3 minutes every day for 6 days, see if you can do that, and you will see the huge difference in the way you're thinking at all, right? So everything that I have taught you right now, it encompasses the mind, memory, it encompasses your digestion problem, your menstruation problem, it encompasses energy, it encompasses immunity, metabolism. So जो general problems हैं, ये जो 9 मुद्राएं, वो हर किसी चीज को वो लोग टैकल कर सकते हैं. All these 9 mudras are able to take care of all the vayus, all the 5 types of vayus. Okay, and they are known as one of the best mudras to kind of start your mudra vigyan practice with. And after that, then there is Shankha Mudra, Gau Mudra, Kapila Mudra, and there's so many of them. But those are much later. So they also say this, ki, when you do sadhana, there is always one mudra that you will come to. Automatically, your body will guide you. And I have realized it. So I have done a lot of, courses on mudra and part of my yoga classes. But now when I meditate, I automatically come to, the Bhava Mudra over here. My hands will automatically, kind of go there. So I have taken that as my mudra. That nature is kind of giving me that mudra, right? Now, like I told you that along with Hasta Mudra, there are Kaya Mudras, right? In Kaya Mudra, you use the entire body. Yoga Mudrasana is one Kaya Mudra. Yoga Mudrasana is not just an asana. It is an asana with the mudra. Okay. To do a simple thing, this is the second part of it where you bend down. But I will teach you a very simple thing to do, right? You can sit in Sukhasan, Padmasan, half Padmasan, whatever you like. Now you take both your hands. You will take both your hands and place it on your head like this. Now, when you do this, your shoulders should be open there. Shoulder ko open karo. Okay. You can see me, right? Yeah. Keep it over here. And then slowly bring your attention to this part, right? The crown of your head. Okay. And then invert your hand and take it up, stretch completely. हाथों को ऊपर लेके जाओ, completely stretch करो, पूरा stretch करो from the spine to the end of your fingers. Stretch, and then bring it back and place it on your head. There. And now observe. Close your eyes. Observe how you feel. If you feel any pressure on your neck, अपने हाथों को सर के ऊपर से हटा के ऊपर रखो. Okay? And then just close your eyes. Beautiful. And just breathe in. Now observe what is happening on the top of your head. And observe what is happening to the tips of your fingers. And then slowly bring your hands down. Bow down to your hand, to the tip of your middle finger. And then rub your hands, cover your face, and open your eyes within your palms. Right? When you practice this, you will see like a warm sensation over here. You will feel that there is energy flowing down. And we just did this for 5 seconds, 10 seconds. Imagine practicing it for 3 minutes and 5 minutes. It changes everything. Okay? That's Yoga Mudrasana. It aligns the spine. It brings concentration. So when you do this posture, you take your hands up and then you go down. That's it. And you bow down to the bhu, to the dharti. And that is why it's called Yoga Mudras. Go to the next slide, please. This is the last Padma Namaskara Mudra. Very, very good mudra. It allows you to align yourself into the Bhakti Marga. It helps you, gives you this whole thing of surrendering to whatever is happening, right? So all you do is sit in Padmasana, and in Padmasana, you bring your body forward and move. Put your stomach on the floor and stretch your hands. That's it. So Padma Namaskara Mudra is also a very effective mudra. It relaxes the spine, it relaxes the shoulder, and it kind of grounds you. So when I do Padma Namaskara Mudra, it's one of my favorites, in fact, and I allow my chest and my stomach to touch the floor. And I don't know, it kind of grounds me. It makes me feel extremely nice. I like it personally. So again, from all these 11 mudras that we did today, it can, whatever suits you, you can do. Even one, if you do, is fine. But the point is to do it consistently. Nairantaryam dirghakala abhyas. I think so. That's all I have to say about mudras. I've said a lot. And I don't think that this is the last slide, according to me. And I don't have the presentation with me right now. Fantastic. So now that's about it. Anybody who has questions can ask me, and I'll try my best to answer.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was very magical. I felt a whole lot of vibrations passing through my spine. I felt something magnetic when I was trying to feel the energy. It felt as if my hands were repelling each other.
Yes, there's a strength, magnetic strength that you feel. Yes.
Yes, that's something I've not experienced before. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm going to start off with the questions right away before I explain the fundraisers. There's a whole lot of testimonials. I'm having a tough time looking at the questions. A lot of thank you messages the whole chat.
Thank you.
Okay, so the timing for each and every mudra, is it limited to?
No. So mudras can be practiced throughout the day. But when you practice it where there is highest energy, that is early in the morning, the effect is that much better. Also, practicing mudra on a relatively empty stomach will help you concentrate. Because I'll tell you what happens when you eat is that all your energy goes into digestion. And if you divert your energy from digestion to doing something else that is this mind-bending, your digestive cycle will kind of come to a shackle. So it's better to practice it in an empty stomach, but you can practice it throughout the day. Most effective, according to me, is early morning and just before you sleep in the night. These are very good, very comfortable to practice mudras at this time.
Sure. We have a question from Ekanto Ghosh. I'm going to unmute you, Ekanto. Please continue with the question.
Hello, hi ma'am. Thank you so much for this wonderful session. My question is with regard to the pranas and not specific to the mudras. This has been a question which I have, which has been with me for a while. When we talk of the pranas, it's usually about the physical aspects of our body. Which of the pranas represent the consciousness or the mind? So specific to that would be, in case one has negative thoughts, would it be the apana which would be related to it to take it out of the body?
Okay. Now this is a little complicated in a way. It is not something that, we can very easily put a finger on, but it's a concept. It is referred to in the Upanishadic texts, and it basically comes to life when you practice pranayama, right? Where you start, the understanding of prana is basically to understand nadis because they're interconnected with each other. But generally speaking, that, we have all heard of the Ida Nadi, Pingla Nadi, the Sushumna Nadi. We've also heard of the 72,000 nerve endings that are all in our body that culminate at the gut lining, right? So what we have to understand basically is that anything that goes out of body is apana vayu, right? Anything that you go out of the thing is apana vayu. So if you want to understand more about depression, about stress, about everything, the simplest solution, simplest understanding is that you start to align your breath in terms of just breathing in and breathing out, breathing in and breathing out. And they say that even if you don't want to go into the nuances of how pranic vayus kind of interact with our mind and with our intellect, what happens is that when you start just aligning your breath, called as Dirgha Swashan Kriya, every single day, pranic energies automatically will kind of, lead you to the right path. But if you want to understand that how stress, depression, and all of these things are connected with the Vayu energy, the Vayu field of our body, it requires a very, very lengthy and in-depth session on how we can control. Like we have a Vega. There are Vegas, there are 13 type of Vegas. Things that you should not stop, like urine, you should not stop. Saliva, if it's coming out, you should not stop. Cough, you should not stop. Ejaculation, you should not stop. So all of these are all interconnected with the Apana Vayu. Right. So I think very, very generically, the questions that you've asked, because the question is very deep, but a generic answer would be that we should definitely read about it a little more and have a different session on just pranic vayus, all the vayus that make what we are. And apana vayu is definitely responsible for everything that is depressing and that has to get out of the body.
I hope, Kanto, your question is answered. That was a wonderful answer. Thank you. I'm going to unmute Shara. Hello, Shara. You may ask your question, please. You can unmute yourself. Okay, moving on. I'm going to unmute Kavi.
The screen went off.
Hi, Miss. So thank you so much for your presentation. I actually had a quick question. Actually, I have a couple of questions, but a few of them are quick. So the first one is, which one is for the menstruation cycle?
That was the Shakti Mudra, the Yoni Mudra, basically.
Yoni Mudra. Okay. And which one is for the weight loss?
For the weight loss?
Weight loss, yes.
Weight loss, you could do the Pranabudra. You can also do the Prithvi Mudra, both.
Prana and Prithvi. Okay. And my last question is actually it kind of has to do with the last person who just spoke. Like you mentioned like ejaculation and like the release of energy and whatnot. But but like people also say that like too much release of semen or whatnot is considered a negative thing.
Absolutely.
So
it's not negative. I know. Okay, but finish your question and I will. Yeah.
Yeah. So my question is, yeah, so that's basically what it was. Like, what do you have to say about that? Like, where does that stand?
Okay, I will tell it to you in the most simplest way and quickest way, and then this is a lifelong of knowledge. But the shukra or the semen that you produce, a male and a female both, right, is the rarest that is produced in the body. You know, after it finishes producing your bone and your plasma and your marrow and all of that, the elixir is your sperm. Okay. And yogis have found that if you can channelize that sexual energy by not ejaculating, it kind of takes you into a higher level of sadhana. And that is why brahmacharya or restrainment was given a lot of, it's still given a lot of importance. So people who are able to control their sexual energy can actually achieve great things. And that is why the sexual energy is really not talked about in the Dakshinachara. It is more talked about in the Tantra form of sadhana, where sexual energy is preserved till the last drop. And that is why it is, because it's it gets filtered, and then it kind of forms the sperm. And that is why it is so important.
So like, well, I don't know how to say this, but when should it be released? Like, should it ever or should it not? Or
no,
what do you
listen,
recommend?
it all again begins with your intention, right? I mean, if you had this path of acquiring energy through prana, you probably not be having that much of sex. It automatically goes back to what your intentions are, right? So when you go on the spiritual path and when you want to achieve powers that kind of, elevate your position, you automatically start following the principles that require you to be part of the sadhana. So as long as you have a mind for it, maybe in time you will follow that path.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much, ma'am. I appreciate it.
Anytime.
Thank you, David. I'm going to unmute Mr. Sandhi.
Yeah, hello.
Hello. Namaste, Sandhi. Sir, आपका आवाज clear नहीं है.
Can't hear you.
We can't hear you. Sir.
Hello, Abhi.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
हाँ जी.
Hello.
I think yes. Certain network issues. I'll come back to you in a moment, sir. Please give me a moment to get back to you. मैं आपको 1 मिनट
Please
में
go off
वापस
video and ask your question. Please go off video and ask your question.
Yeah.
I'd like to unmute Mr. Sharat. Hello, sir.
Hello. Now clear?
Hello.
Yes,
Am
sir.
I audible?
You're audible. Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Good afternoon, ma'am. I think the first thing that I would like to say that I've been into a lot of programs of this kind, but there is something about you which is very unique and which I have not come across anyone. There is a sincerity, there is a purpose, and there is a glow on your face, which is very rarely seen. There's so many gurus who are teaching. So I just wanted to know that, I mean, I really don't know you and I don't know the background. It just came on my WhatsApp that I am suffering from something for the last couple of years, about 68 years old, and intense pain for the last 3 years, for which nothing has helped. So can I get personally in touch with you?
Yeah, you can get personally in touch with me. You can get in touch with me through the foundation. The best is that I would request Prashant to send the email ID, and you can put in all your reports.
Okay.
Right. The thing is that I am a sadhaka myself. So what happens
Okay.
is that I generally I'm not available. I don't do this. I just do it for Vishwa because I know Trishant very well and I love the platform. The thing is that the more I even when you start doing sadhana, which is what I want to tell all of you, is that you will try to remain far away from regular day-to-day activities because that's the kind of energy that you have accumulated. And so
Right.
I'm generally not available, but I will love to help you out. So I will request you to send me an email,
Okay.
and I will go through your email. I will read all the things. I would also suggest that you send me your reports, your medical
Okay.
reports. And I
Okay.
have a lot of other sadhakas who are way ahead of where I am. And
Okay.
I will definitely get them to, if I get confused, I'll get them to talk to me and I will send you an answer. And
So,
if
yeah.
you can follow that,
Yeah.
and otherwise we will get on a call depending on whatever. So the first step is that you send me an email and I will definitely look into it. And thank you for saying all the things that you.
I'm so grateful, but how do I get your mail address?
So I will
I
just
will
send
send you
it
the
to Prashant.
Okay.
email
Prashant,
address, sir.
Okay.
Vishwa
Thank you
will
so
send
much.
you the email.
Thank you.
anytime.
Right. I'm gonna unmute Ms. Chandana. Kindly unmute yourself.
Hello, ma'am. Is it okay to practice mudras during periods? Because some people says
That's a good question.
energy flows in a different direction during
So very good question.
menstruation.
Very good question. Yes, I actually forgot to address that. Yoni Mudra can be practiced for during menstruation. You can practice simple Gyan Mudra. You can also practice Prithvi Mudra out of the mudras that I told you about, right? But if whenever you're in doubt during periods, just practice Gyan Mudra. It's simple, it's effective. You don't need to worry about it. But if you specifically are wanting to kind of relieve pain, then practice the Shakti Mudra or the Yoni Mudra that I told you. It's specifically for menstruation.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
There's a question in the chat from Mr. Sandeep MB. I hope it's the same question that he's trying to address through voice. I have allergic rhinitis and insomnia. Which mudra is preferable for me?
Any relaxing mudra, like, Dhyan Mudra, I always believe that, will help you a lot. 1 second. I've written a few notes where you can, even the lotus mudra is very good. It's very, very simple especially for this gentleman who doesn't find relaxation. You just have to do this. So you bring your hand like that and then just do this. And what this does is that it creates like a pit and it accumulates conscious energy into the pit. And that in your head or on your forehead, if you apply, you will feel instantly relieved. It's called the Kamala Mudra. You can just do this. So you close your hand, take a long, deep breath, and inhale, and then open it. And just wait here and just do normal inhalation, normal exhalation. It helps a lot, the Kamala Mudra. I hope that helps you. But I will tell you the Ramban of everything, I think, is Rudra Mudra, Pranabudra and Jnana Mudra. They kind of encompass everything. So just learn these 2-3 things and it's really, really good for you. Okay? All right.
There's a question from Wednesday Adams. So when you were speaking about addictions, I mean, mudras for getting rid of alcoholism or addiction to cigarettes, this person asked the question saying, is there any mudra जिससे पढ़ाई की addiction हो जाए? I think the mudra that allows you to help concentrate, focus.
The Buddhi Mudra will do that for you. But I don't think किसी भी चीज की addiction अच्छी है. मुझे नहीं लगता पढ़ाई की भी addiction अच्छी है. I think everything should be, you should be like a river that flows, you know, accumulating everything that comes in your path, because we are not able to see the larger picture now. We are only able to see in one particular dimension, whereas there is so much that is happening around us. So what we might think that this is the right path might not be. So what I have understood is to go with the flow, you know, accumulate, be grounded, have good intention, and go with the flow. Everything will work out. This is what I personally believe.
Next, I'm going to unmute Mr. Vishal.
Close the
Hello,
talk
sir.
and then continue the question answers, Rishan.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Kindly give me a minute. I'll just close the talk and we'll continue with the question and answer
Continue.
session.
Let Mr. Vishal continue. After that, you would.
Yes, sir.
Good
Please go.
afternoon. Good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon.
My heartfelt compliments to you.
Thank you.
For conducting this wonderful session. And it was very informative. First of all, thank you for that.
Okay.
Cutting it short, I would just like to know, whenever we touch these fingers to each other in the mudras, should they be like tight pressed or light pressed, or how should we?
Okay. So again, that's a good question. So when you do a mudra, automatically you don't really press it too hard. You generally know how to place it, because when I even showed you the energy reading, I told you don't do it fast. Let the body relax. So the whole principle of yoga siddhanta or meditation or pranayama, mudra vigyan, is about relaxation. So that's the underlying principle. So make sure that you're relaxed. That's why I told you to be comfortable, keep a pillow, make sure there is no pain. So nothing should be deliberate. It should be very, very relaxing, casual, semi-formal. That's the way your body should be. When you're in a state of relaxation, the energy flow into your body becomes that much faster. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You need to become more silent. Like if you have a silent water body and you put a stone in it and you create those ripples in it, it creates a lot of disturbances in seeing your reflection more clearly. Similarly, when you practice your mudras, your body, your mind should be so relaxed that the reflection of the energy of the super consciousness comes to you very, very gracefully, very, very effortlessly. So to answer your question, keep your entire body and your mudras in a relaxed position.
And one more question, madam. The mudra which you told that we have to hold your hand, I think right hand near your chest. So should we be, no, single hand you showed, no? Which I think
Abhaya Mudra. The Abhaya Mudra?
Yeah, so should it be repeated with the other hand as well?
Abhaya Mudra generally can be repeated in both hands, but I told you just for many people who are left-handies, for example.
I am a left-hander, that's why I'm asking you.
So you might be probably more comfortable doing it with your left hand. And then you can keep your right hand in Jnana Mudra. And you do it both sides. And you do the left hand in Jnana Mudra and keep the right hand in Abhaya Mudra.
Okay.
So when you do the Abhaya Mudra, you can't do this. You have to do this or this. You got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, madam.
No problem.
Before I move on to the next question, I'd like to close the talk, and I'd like to request the audience to take a 30-second poll, answer the poll for us. The purpose of the poll is to help us understand you a little better. You can also let us know in the chat box how you found out about Whisper Talks, whether you found it through a subscriber, heard about it through friends or family, or found out about it on social media. While you take the survey, I'd like to express my gratitude to everybody who has joined us today for their presence and interactive contribution to this, making this webinar a huge success. I extend my gratitude to our speaker, respected speaker, Radhika ma'am. Thank you so much for taking time and giving so much invaluable knowledge actually. It cannot be accounted for, the information we are getting. While you answer the poll, I'd like to tell you a little bit about Vishwa and our mission and how you can contribute. Vishwa is an online platform for everyday change makers and social champions. It's a crowdfunding and crowdsourcing platform that is aimed at helping everyone or anyone finding support that they need in their efforts to fulfill their dreams for themselves and for others. You can also check out the ongoing fundraisers on our website. We have Vishwa has organized the Vishwa Annadanam campaign, and here at Vishwa to see the real impact that our platform is creating in this world. Thanks to the donations from some of our viewers, Vishwa is able to conduct Annadanam every week for several underprivileged individuals, communities near hospitals. Thank you so much. Our mission to fight hunger and reduce malnutrition in Hyderabad. Our mission is to fight hunger. Your contributions to the Vishwa Annadanam campaigns brings about tangible change in the lives of those struggling to make ends meet. We also have Vruddha Abhaya Trust, and over the last, they are an old age home, and over the last years, they have been running on donations which have gotten really slim after the pandemic. The donations stopped, but their care for the senior citizens didn't. You can pay homage to our elders by feeding these abandoned senior citizens one meal a day by doing your bit and donating to this noble cause. You can also share the links from the chat box with ones who would be interested in contributing. Lastly, I'd like to tell you about the upcoming talks. Next, we have Dr. Zamuluri. He's from the Bay Park Resort, Pema Wellness. He's the Chief Medical Officer over there, and he's also the Senior Naturopathy Doctor. And the topic is aiding women's health with natural medicines. The date and time is 1st July 2023, 11 a.m. The next talk is Dr. Gayatri Uppalapati from Roshni Trust. She's going to talk about self-care practices for women. She's a counselor at Roshni Trust. The date and time is 8 July 2023, 11 a.m. You can register through the links in the chat. The next talk after that, on 22nd, she's the artistic director of Feet on Earth, and the topic is Dance as Rituals, Examples from India and the World. Coming to the last one, the cause is ecology and environment. The speaker's name is Utkarsh Upadhyay. He's from WaterAid India. He's the hydrologist and planning researcher over there. And he's going to talk about aquifers and groundwater. Date and time is 29 July 2023, 11 a.m. Lastly, please take a moment to subscribe to Vishwa Talks to get alerts on every new and exciting talk, exclusive events, and access to the Vishwa community. Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn for future updates. Do not forget to follow Ra Foundation, Radhika ma'am, Anahata Organic on Instagram. Stay updated with all their posts and all the Indic rituals and products they subscribe to Vishwa Talks. I'd like to now continue with the question and answer session. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to unmute Ayush Deep Lokar. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am, for the lovely session.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask you about something, not about me. I've been training. I work as a volunteer for children with autism spectrum disorder. So
Wow.
they have what I have seen. A lot of students have these children. They have ADHD symptoms, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so is there any particular or maybe a couple of them mudras which we can use during the short, very short sessions that we have during the physical training sessions? No, we can use them so that it can help them lower the
One of
tendency.
the best mudras is Kaleshwar Mudra, which I told you about. You can note that down and go on Google and search for the benefits as well. Kaleshwar Mudra, the one that we just did, this one, right? We have done this mudra and then you bring it down. Or you can, just check it out how the mudras demonstrated. I'm sure they will be, I've not checked it, but I'm sure there will be a lot of information about this. This mudra is basically excellent for positive thinking, relieving stress, controlling ADHD or, extra activities that go on in the brain, leads to anxiety. You can definitely try that. But I've also found that Gyan Mudra for children, because I work myself with a lot of children with special children actually. And then I have tried doing the Gyan Mudra with them and doing an Om chanting, and it has helped a lot, you know. So I have kept it to as simple like Anjali Mudra, something like just doing a namaskar and interlocking your thumb like that, you know. And just so when they do these small activities, there's a lot of simulation that is happening around their fingertips, around their bodies, especially the spine, and that helps a lot. So you can definitely try these 2 or 3 mudras.
Ma'am, the last one you showed where yoga mudra, where you the body yog mudrasana.
Yeah, the Yog Mudrasana. Yeah.
Yes. Does that help with special children as well?
It will. See, any of these mudras will help, because what you have to understand is that when you're putting your body into a particular position, aligning your breath with it, keeping your spine straight and closing your eyes, these 4 steps essentially will bring in a lot of conscious energy into the individual who's practicing. So you start with any one thing, which is the simplest. So if Yog Mudrasana attracts you, fantastic. You can do the Yog Mudrasana. There are a lot of tutorials available, but check the authenticity of the platform where you are learning this from. There are some very good teachers out there, and or go to Google and search for how Yog Mudrasana can help, or how to practice Yog Mudrasana. Go to 3 or 4 different pages, you will find similarities. Mostly, I'm hoping that you'll find equal similarities. Choose that one and teach it to your children. And it's a great job that you're doing them. Even if without mudras, they can learn how to breathe. That will solve a lot of problems, because autism mein kya hota hai? Your spine and your brain, these are the 2 parts that need to be aligned. And yogasanas can do that, mudras can do that, pranayam can do that. So start with a small step. You will be surprised how it will take you to bigger, wider paths. And the thing is to start.
Thank you.
Lovely. Lovely. Yeah. Any other question?
Ma'am, once again, I am back here with the first question. Ma'am, when you mentioned a while ago that when we are practicing a mudra, the other hand, if you're doing it with the left hand, the other hand should be in the Gyan Mudra. So is it mandatory? Can we not practice it simultaneously with both the hands?
Depends on how you feel about it. There is nothing set in stone as far as yoga is concerned or mudras are concerned. Positions have been given to you. Your practice can take you to a different level. So like I just told you that in the end, I just realized that, the Bhairava Mudra came to me automatically. Though I never learned it, but when I started meditating, my hands automatically went there. And every time I tried to change it to say the Yoni Mudra or the Buddhi Mudra, it would come back to the Bhairava Mudra. So it all depends. It's abhyas, basically. You can do whatever you want. Yoga doesn't differentiate, or the yogic texts don't differentiate that the left is bad and the right is bad. No, they say that these are the mudras. You practice them in whatever comfort that you feel like and make that mudra your own. उसको है ना स्थापित कहते हैं, that in yogic language it is said that आपने उस आसन को या उस मुद्रा को सिद्ध कर दिया या स्थापित कर दिया. That's what they say. So you are absolutely free to use your hands, whatever way is comfortable to you.
Thank you for the answer. Moving on to the next one, I'm going to go really fast with the next few questions from the chat. Are there any adverse effects of overdoing these mudras?
No, there aren't. There aren't.
Is it necessary to practice mudras in silence?
We can do it with music. You can do it in the outside, maybe where the birds are chirping in a garden, wherever there is. But mudras and even dhyan, pranayam should be done where there is enough ventilation. I do not suggest practicing it in an air-conditioned environment. When you're in connect with the energy outside, with nature outside, it is always more beneficial.
Next question is from Shivani ma'am. Which sage was the source of this? Which Veda or book talks about it?
All the mudras come to us in different paths, in different Upanishads, different Vedas, even the Buddhist texts. They all come in different forms. The earliest mention of the mudras are in the Rig Veda. Also a lot in the Atharva Veda, because like I told you, the Tantra sadhana in many ways is even before the Vedic text came into being. So there are a lot of, and all of this was generally during, there was a period of Shruti and Smriti. So where the Guru Shishya Parampara happened and mudras were given. It is only now that, people are saying we want evidence for this and that, but we have always been a culture that have listened to our grandparents, our parents, and they to their grandparents and parents, and have followed a lot of this. But yes, there is a lot of written evidence in the tantric texts. Abhinava Gupta, I think in the Kashmir Shaivism, we talk about the Rig Vedas, the Taittiriya Upanishad, even the Atharva Veda. I think there'll be a lot of information available on Google. You can go and search for them.
Thank you so much. Which mudra is for anxiety?
Or anxiety.
Anxiety.
I just told you, for relaxation is the Shakti Mudra. I told you the Prana Mudra, all of that I just told you are all very good for. These mudras that I gave you, these 9 that I gave you, apply to all of your concerns. Any of the mudra you pick up and you practice, it will help you with anxiety, with hypertension, with stress management, with metabolism, immunity, sleep disorder, and concentration. इनमें से कुछ भी आप उठा लो, it will help you.
Next is from Mr. Nitish. Please tell us some authentic source for this knowledge. Where can we read more about this?
I think you need to basically get those books. So do a little bit of research. Mudra Vigyan, like for example, how I got the knowledge is that I have attended, I'm qualified as a yoga teacher from 9 different institutions. Right. So somewhere I've done 1 month ka course, somewhere I've done 6 months ka course, sometimes I've done 15 days ka course. So I have educated myself throughout. I've traveled, I've lived in ashrams, I have, practiced it. And then I've met people and they have sent certain things, and I've read a lot. Like, for example, I am right now reading this book by Eknath Ishwaran, the Upanishads. Right, So what you need to really do is, first of all, find out what is your area of interest. There is a saying in the Yoga Sutras, it says, Tajjapam tadartha bhavanam. So that the minute you start japa of anything that you like, japa basically means wanting something that bad, talking about it, thinking about it all the time, automatically that door will open for you. like tadartha bhavanam. So as you start repeating it, that means you're laying your intention out in the universe. This is what you want to do. This is what you want to do. This is what you want to do. Automatically, you will find platforms like Vishwa. You'll find other platforms which will open up and, kind of fuel that curiosity. So curious rehna band nahi karna hai. Be curious and acquire the knowledge that comes along the way. Okay.
Diabetes?
Which mudras activate help in activating the 7 chakras? Simon?
That's a very deep question, and there are 7 mudras to do the activation of the 7 chakra, but it would be a very mean task to talk about it right now.
Yes.
We will definitely do another session where we can bring in Kundalini, the 7 chakra meditation along with mudras and the breath and the chant. So it's like a holistic thing, which I can see. I always believe that these things should be done face to face, and that's what's supposed to be done. But yeah, you do get the upar ka information, and then you dwell deeper and find your teacher, or maybe the teacher finds you, and it can take it forward. So only the mudra will not work. The mudra along with the sound, along with the breath, along with the visualization, along with the dev of that particular or devi of that particular area, they all have to be compiled together, and then it works. But it's a good question, very deep question, in fact. Can't hear you.
Diabetes?
I can't. Now I can. Now I can.
Just a second.
Yeah.
Hello.
I can hear you now.
Yes. So, is there a mudra for diabetes patients? That something that they should use?
Diabetes patients can do Bhairava Mudra, which comes to me very automatically. You take your left hand and you place the right hand on the left hand and just join these 2 thumbs like that. And then you just place it on your lap. It works very well for people with thyroid, with diabetes, endocrinal disorder, any endocrine. So basically you rest the thumb very comfortably on your lap and just breathe. It helps a lot.
Right. Thank you.
Okay.
Something for a hernia problem?
Hernia problem, Prana Mudra works very, very well. It's extremely effective for hernia. And Ayurveda does a lot of good work in the field of hernia. So if you're not yet taking any Ayurvedic treatment, talk to an Ayurvedic doctor, practice Prana Mudra.
Can we sit in Buddhi Mudra while studying or attending a lecture?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You can do any of these. But there is also one mudra called Hakini Mudra. It's also a very simple mudra. This mudra. I've not talked about it because it's a very tantric kind of a mudra. And Tantra sadhana is tougher than doing anything else in the world. So when you do the Hakini Mudra, when you are doing any conversation, it also is very stylish to look at. And, it also helps you accumulate a lot of energy. It also aligns all the 5 elements, the Pancha Mahabhutas, into your being. So if you're listening to a lecture, if you want to absorb, then the Buddhi Mudra, the Hakini Mudra, both work very, very well. Yeah.
Another question from Sharad sir. Who are sadhaks? Which organizations are they associated?
Anybody who concentrates and practices in the field of esotericism, mysticism, spiritualism is a sadhaka. Anybody who's in the field of education, research is also a sadhaka. Anybody who is practicing music, dance, and the art form is also a sadhaka. So a sadhaka is a practitioner, and they are associated in their fields of interest. That's what it is.
Wonderfully answered. A question from Shivani ma'am. How can we improve knowledge on nadis?
Oh my God. So there is something called Marma Yoga. If you've not heard about it, you can write it down and take up a course of Marma Yoga. The best institute is in Haridwar. But I think if you search online, there are a lot of Marma Yoga courses online. But I suggest to go to the place, because nadis are something that you have to touch and feel. And a teacher can actually help you by identifying the nadis by touching your nadis and showing it to you. So online, I don't think it makes that much sense, but you can definitely get a theoretical knowledge online. But for practical, do contact. I forgot the name of the institute. I was almost going to do the course, but I couldn't do it. But that's Marma Yoga, something I want to do personally. So it's a Nadi Vigyan, and it's the most sophisticated form of knowledge. So whoever has asked me this question, you know exactly where you're going.
Shivani ma'am.
All right, Shivani ma'am.
Yeah. Just a second, I'll just pin her. Yeah. Okay. I think we are now done with the questions.
Okay.
Sharad sir, I've also sent you the email in the direct chat. You could take it from there.
Yeah, the email is rayoga@gmail.com. Just RAAYOGA@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Ra Foundation on Instagram. Not that we do much over there, but there are a lot of things that we are coming up with. We are setting up a meditation center in the banks of River Narmada. The work is going on. It is spread out in a area of more than 2.5 lakh square feet. And it's a whole Dhyan Kendra. So all the people who have all these questions just can come there once the center is done and meditate with us. And mostly it is free. We are not going to be charging anything. You can come there, you can do seva. So we are coming up with this entire thing through the foundation, which has been an almost 12, 13-year-old project. But because, you need money to do it, it's taken that much time. So the construction has started. It has got a 10,000 square feet yoga shala where you can come and practice yoga. Vishwa Talks can come there and conduct their sessions over there. So there are a lot of things. And I believe that it's time now for human interaction, and human interaction that happens in a samabhava, when nobody wants to take advantage of anybody. When that happens, and when you're collaborating, that's when progress will happen. And so anybody who has any questions can write to me on rayoga@gmail.com. So generally in the night, 1 hour I take out to reply to a lot of people, and I will reply to you as well.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was a wonderful session. Yeah, I literally lost track of time.
Yeah, I know we've been at it for almost 2 hours now. And
Yes.
3 hours, it's 1 o'clock. We
Yes.
started
With 3 hours.
11, 12, 1 or 2 hours. Okay. So guys, thank you so much. And I appreciate, there were so many of you, and I appreciate Vishwa Talks for arranging this and giving me the opportunity.
We'll just send you a breakout room link right away. You can just join there for 5 minutes and we'll close the session. Thank you to all our viewers. Looking forward to see you next week. Do not forget to subscribe to Vishwa Talks. If you missed any part of the session, you can go to YouTube, go to the live section over there, and you can check the video there. Thank you.